Hey YouTube, you guys ready for another episode of wandering the countryside, vainly hoping to find bits and pieces of clues to one guy's tomb? Because I am. Okay, our way was blocked by a huge crevice in the ruddy rock, carved out by wind and rain, as wide as 3 or 4 humans lying end to end, and at least 3 times as deep. It stretched in both directions as far as we could see. Looking down over the cliff, I saw something that made me wince. Among the rocks on the sandy, yellow ochre floor was a body. Okay, let's take a cursory glance. The loose-fit, embroidered frock and bronze skin marked him as a man of Taldor. His knapsack lay half open nearby, and a variety of random things were scattered along the floor of the gorge. Judging by the body's position, the poor man fell to his death. It couldn't have been long before, as the rocks and sand near his body were still dark with blood. Had he simply gotten too close to the cliff and stumbled, or did he try and climb down the rock face? And if so, why? One sec. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how difficult climbing down would be. It wouldn't be easy to climb down there, but a few dozen steps away we found a good combination of bulges, cracks, and ledges that would make for a somewhat more convenient path. After a bit of planning, we'd plotted a route that even an amateur climber could handle. Alright, well, let's tie a rope. You'd have to roll a 1 to fail. Yep. Lost a rope. But, Lord knows, rope provides. Once again, a length of rope proved itself indispensable for adventuring, especially when the adventurer knows how to tie a good knot. The climb down was rather easy as we pushed our feet against the rock and descended into the crevice. It took just half an hour for us all to climb down. Our whole team finally made it down to investigate the dead man's body. We'd guessed right. The poor fellow had clearly died on impact. A lot of different types of gear had been scattered around in the sand. Armor, tools, even scythes and hammers. It was clear that this was much more than a single person could carry. Okay, let's continue checking them out. The gear in the knapsack, singular, on the man's body were well preserved, but most of what we'd found lying on the crevice floor was corroded and useless. Spearheads and swords crumpled at the touch, and the armor had so many holes it looked like delicate lace. If not for the poor condition, there might have been enough to outfit a whole regiment. We also noticed something that couldn't be seen from above. A large stone stood blocking a hole in the wall. A sickly sweet smell leaked out from the dark, narrow crack that remained. I feel like there might be a rust monster or something that eats gear around here. But let's check out what's in the rock. Ruh-roh. We all pushed the stone together and it moved with ease, only to immediately release an incredible stench into the air. We had found a small cave, but what was in it? Gods. It was full of charred, half-decomposed bodies, and lying among them were huge gray eggs, covered with some sticky slime. Let's determine what kind of eggs these are. We'd never seen anything like them, but one of our party members recalled a story they'd heard from a traveling scientist late one night at a roadhouse. Drunk as could be, the gnome laughed as she recounted a tale from some desert nomads about a gigantic worm capable of killing you with a single touch and shooting lightning from its eyes. Any time a caravan was lost to the sands, the nomad blamed it on these worms. The female worms were said to gather dozens of corpses together to keep their eggs warm, with the extra benefit of providing a food source for newly born worms, other than their own brothers and sisters. Most citizens and academia at large dismissed this story as superstition, of course. That was when we heard some strange sounds, like someone moving huge mounds of sand nearby, and the sound was coming towards us quickly. I kind of want to get in this fight, even though it sounds like a rough fight. Let's see what's in the corpses. Just one ruby ring. The corpses have been ravaged, covered with gigantic tooth marks and burned by electricity and acid. Most of the clothing and items were unrecognizable. They were so eaten by the acid, even the cave walls had been polished down by it. We did manage to find a golden ring with a gemstone on one dead woman's finger, the corrosive substance unable to damage the king of metals. The noise continued to grow louder, emphasized with strange, dull sounds, as though the ground itself were muttering in some otherworldly language with a dry, coarse tongue. And then a wave of sand arose from the far entrance of the gorge, and the crest of the wave was coming straight for us. Break the eggs. We drew our weapons and stuck the disgusting eggs. Our steel sank into the hard skin, and gooey green slime oozed from the eggs. There was suddenly no air to breathe. Tears streamed from our eyes, and our throats grew raspy, and we started coughing. It wasn't long before we had to evacuate, but not before we'd managed to destroy over half the clutch. A fountain of sand and dust erupted. Not 100 steps from us. From the ground emerged a gigantic oblong head, attached to a long muscular body with no shoulders. The creature clearly resembled a worm, but it was thick as a century-old oak. Its hide was covered with warts and oozed a sticky yellow secretion, leaving a wet trail along the sand. Lightning shot from its gaping mouth, lighting up its immense throat. The air took on the smell of a storm as the monster barreled towards us. And then we all ran. But where? These are all very rough checks. We ran along the crevice floor. Failed. We flew like the wind, pushed to amazing feats of agility despite our heavy gear. We heard the crackling sound of electric discharge and the chomping of massive jaws behind us as we fled. Jublos was running on his last legs, and he fell further and further behind us. In one great surge, the worm caught up to him, and Jublos let out a blood-curdling scream as he was pulled in the air, arms flailing. We're not sure how or when we lost the monster. We waited for night, and after making sure we could see and hear no trace of the worm in the area, we returned to recover our friend's body from the gorge and rushed to leave the damn place. Still dead. Bet I can pick him up with a healing spell as soon as I can cast spells, though.
Rotus awaits us.
No, he looks like he's gonna need actual resurrection magic. Let's see what kind of ring I get from that. Just a totally basic ruby ring. Okay, I'm gonna head back and not get my dude killed. a little earlier. A little earlier still. Did I actually not save as I ended an episode? And this is in-game day 667. So it's only one day before. Weird.
We'll do it the hard
Consider me
way.
provoked.
Forwards.
Okay. Yeah, we only missed out on a few minutes. Okay, let's see if these checks are a little easier if I run earlier. Let's just break the eggs and dash. Yeah. Okay, so the checks are lower. I wonder if we can actually climb back up the cliff. Oh no, he got knocked this time. Oh. Okay, you know what? We're gonna leave even earlier. Making DC 30 checks is pretty difficult. Well, I could get him up to 24 mobility if I take his armor off temporarily. Then we only have to roll a 6. Dang. But this time it was the dog that died. I wonder... I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave that place for a better level. Apparently those worms are indeed appropriately giant and scary for adventurers of my caliber. Okay, Giant's Palm. Yeah, I can probably finish fixing up our permanent stat damage. Okay. He could fix his charisma drain, but he honestly doesn't need charisma.
Forwards. Without a doubt.
We'll do it the hard way.
Whoa. This guy's a little rough.
Knock Knock used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Good, you dead.
It's like, it's got double haste or something. It's getting a lot of attacks off.
Me see, me keep.
No, we don't even get to skin him. Oh, we... Oh! 321 diamond dust. Restoration forever. For days. Ooh. So a super robe for a lawful evil monk.
I will guide us.
Interesting. Some tribal fetishes.
Our path leads on.
That name always sounded a little kinky. Hopefully that's not just my mind being dirty. Our road once again led us to the border of Pitex, where bandits, unconcerned for the law, often lie in wait for innocent victims. Imagine how surprised we were when, instead of bandits, we bumped into a guard patrol. Could it be that King Iravetti was determined to restore order along his border? I've seen all sorts of miracles, but this would be hard to believe. The guard kindly informed us that the borders were closed due to a travel ban. This was not because of a war or plague, but because of the celebration. The kingdom was preparing for the Rushlight tournament, and the king was busy giving personal consultations to painters, artists, and the masters of the stage who would be responsible for the event. The Baron and I exchanged smiles. Too bad for the poor artist. According to the guard, the king ordered the borders closed to keep secret the details of his coming triumph. The guardmen were polite but adamant. Fortunately, we had no reason to challenge them and fight our way into Pitax. Okay, well, let's get a short lecture. Trying to avoid overcomplicated vocabulary, I explained that the tournament was founded by King Iravetti and is held on the Rushlight River. All sorts of champions gather from across the river realms where they compete in fishing, a highly respected talent in those parts, the art of boasting, and the skill of fighting. I bet the art of boasting is like a rap battle. That's... oh man. I'm looking forward to medieval rap battle. And the skill of fighting when you're so drunk that you can hardly stand on your feet. I still don't understand why everyone thinks it's so funny. There are many other interesting competitions in the same vein. Alright, we'll be rude later. So it looks like we can't quite get to the Serpent Trail just yet. I mean, I'll try from this angle, but... okay, yeah, we can. Looks like a big old pile of barbarian corpses.
Forwards.
I mean, you can only see one corpse, but he's got the gear of multiple people. So I'm just assuming that was supposed to be a pile of corpses. First world mince pie.
Forwards.
Well, it's got chocolate, so it's probably reasonably tasty.
Hope it not fight back.
Consider me
Let's try to fight.
Primal Doom Hydra. That sounds pretty bad.
I'm leaking red all over myself.
It was in fact pretty bad.
Oh, sorry. Was lost in thought.
Cool. An extra d6 points of damage for every melee attack. That sounds like they... ah, he's got bracers of armor. But he wouldn't need bracers of armor if he had the robe of the true master. Right, they probably actually go there. Yeah. Yeah, he actually loses AC with this thing. Although that doesn't make any sense. It's got no armor check penalty. Okay, whatever. Mysteries abound.
The end draws near. Grotus awaits us.
We do need to get rid of that strength damage on my main dude. And we need some communal poison delay.
Without a doubt.
No, actually that was the whole area.
I will guide us. Forwards.
Thought for sure we'd hit the Pitax, yeah. Okay, let's head back down and hit the things at the bottom. Time to find out what makes this field wicked. This looks bad.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Pretty bad.
Consider
Pretty
me
bad.
provoked.
I'm not even gonna wait. I'm gonna burst out the haste right away.
I grant you death.
Repent!
He's doing level damage. Fuck that guy.
Patience.
Plenty of use out of my restorations. And that's why I was so happy about finding all that diamond dust. Plus 10 strength, jeez. Just a +2 quarterstaff? I felt like that guy was gonna have something really cool. He only translated half of it.
Forwards.
And that's how you fuck up a summoning. Okay, that's really all I was. A fight with a demon and the reward of a +2 staff. Okay, fossil fields. Petrified bits of animals. But we're running out of hotspots to check. That got me a bit nervous.
Forwards.
Sorcerer Medusa.
Consumed, provoked.
Knock knock used to lighting enemies on fire first. Hey.
I'm getting killed here!
Lots of shinies. Headband of Charisma, Flaming Composite Bow, Ring of Protection. Pretty much the same stuff, plus a rune-covered scrap. Gotta keep up with the culinary times and all that.
Without a doubt.
They're still considered unconscious, and it's permanent.
The end draws near.
But they're fine to cast spells. Yeah, it's a new look. Might need to find some stone to flesh. Huh, they didn't stay healed. Okay, so yeah, they'll probably fall over again next time we get into combat. And our rim doesn't have stone to flesh. Octavia doesn't have stone to flesh. Okay. Looks like we're taking an unintended detour back home to deal with our skin issues. Still petrified though. Restoration might fix it. Let's try the glade. Just to step in, cast restoration, and see what happens.
Patience.
Nope.
Forwards.
We're gonna need to buy a scroll of the good stuff in town. I'm gonna check the scroll vendor first.
Be welcome.
Okay. Tell me you're good. That probably works. Dispel magic might even work.
Woulda. Aye.
Ooh, mass heal. Oh, it's level 9. Ew.
Aye, aye.
Raised Dead might even work in some ways. But now it looks like we're stuck with Dispel Magic or Break Enchantment. Hopefully one of them works. Preferably Break Enchantment, since that's the AoE spell.
Forwards.
The end draws near.
Awfully strict on where I can set my camp.
Wolves are better than people. Many of them, anyway. They know the value of friendship. People call someone a wolf like it's a bad thing. It should be a word of praise.
Patience.
Nope. Nope. Even dispelled hearty meal. Alrighty. I feel like I'm in a bad spot here.
Grotus awaits us.
Okay, time to hit the internet again. I'll just be reading while I deal with barony stuff. Oh, maybe that's why I couldn't find the place. I hadn't actually had this success message. That was a rough hit to stability. Okay, I guess until we find out how to deal with our dudes being petrified, we just swap out party members. It's gonna suck a little bit though.
Forwards.
Of course, I'm still gonna have to deal with listening to them die every time I walk by. I specifically need the spell Stone to Flesh, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of way around it. So, for those of you joining in on the stream, if you know how to deal with petrified characters, please let me know.
Forwards.
Losing her M's the worst. I mean, I can replace him with Tristan to some extent, but bleh. Tristan had a bad habit of running up and dying. I'll have to make sure he's got a more appropriate weapon. Oh yeah, forget he can't actually use ranged weapons. Which is why he kept running up and dying. Not being able to use armor or ranged weapons leads to some really poor choices. It's not hard to tell who I don't put in the party much, since their gear value is much lower. Okay, hopefully with that message of having completed things with searching for a clue for where this tomb lies. We already knew it was near the Flint Rock grasslands,
Have a moment of respite.
but hopefully now it'll let me actually explore there. What's his role? Doubling recovery from ability damage is kinda nice. Making everyone better at their camp duty skills. I'll go with Everlight's Blessing. Okay. Dang it. Okay. It takes 45 days to deal with things the other way. And that was just too much time.
May we have a moment of respite?
Seemed to be between a rock and a hard place. Of course, with half my party as actual rocks, I suppose that's more appropriate than it normally is. Okay, so I guess you can do it twice, which I didn't realize. If I claim an area, that'll take up some time. Okay, meet some friends, get some culture. That's nice. Giants have been hired to chop down trees and dig canals. That's pretty cool. Oh no. Okay, so we didn't get a circus. Spider invasion sounds like the sort of thing that needs to be dealt with swiftly. DC 24. It's an opportunity, so it's not critical. Opportunity. So everything's an opportunity now. Guess we'll keep expanding. Okay. The animals have been pacified. Spider invasion's been dealt with. Regent demands a conversation. High priest wants to talk to me. They're killed scouts. And all my military guys are busy. Combat priest. Sure. Okay. Now I have to actually enter the throne room to talk to the people who are wanting to talk. Yeah, and it says I failed to reach Armag's tomb. But there just wasn't any way to do it in time. I'll just have to see what happens. Maybe he'll just be extra strong. I really need that stone to flesh spell. I've come with a request. Could you find a diplomat to handle negotiations and politics? I lack the stamina to lead complicated discussions, and I don't have time at all for politics. Your subjects grow in number, and their problems multiply. It seems almost everyone demands attention. Speaking of their problems, I keep hearing about how difficult it is for your subjects outside of the barony, especially in Brevoy. These past few weeks, their merchants overcharge our peasants, or use their connections to force our people into disadvantageous agreements. Why not build a consulate there? I'm sure your subjects will appreciate you taking care of them, even when they travel outside the barony. Alright, that's fine. It's only 75 BP. Listen, Titus, I want to give you some advice. Find another advisor who can deal with affairs of magic. The barony will struggle without a magister. It's dangerous to leave such important issues unattended. Before you appoint someone for this position, I will take upon myself this final case, involving wizards and other spellcasters. A group of Nethys priests have arrived at your court to propose an amazing thing, founding a library of magic here in the capital. Your barony would gain a valuable store of knowledge that would otherwise fade into darkness. I believe this deed is worthy of you and your barony. Yeah, sounds good. That was 100 BP. But I don't think that put me into debt. Mim Wobblegander. There you are. I've wanted to see you in person for some time. Olive Brevois talking about your feats. Mim Wobblegander, the greatest goldsmith in Rostov, at your service. Happy to meet the ruler of this land. You know, it's quite beautiful here. The view of the lake, surrounded by picturesque green forest, were inspiration for a lovely brooch design. I do have a sapphire, but no green jewels, and I have no idea who can help me with this. We're surrounded by simpletons here, who know nothing of sublime matters. Except for you, of course. Okay, yeah. What is the greatest goldsmith doing in this backwater? Seeking recognition and inspiration. You see, not everyone in Rostov realizes how unfairly destiny has divided its gifts between me and my competitors. I got all the talent you see, and they got all the glory and respect. It's all nonsense, though. I'll soon remedy this irksome situation. Besides, I'm just mortally tired of Rostov dust and grayness, and the view from here to the Tors of Levines is beyond compare. Just look at those peaks. Such mysterious power in their easy dignity. Okay, why should I help? Let's say, if I'm provided an appropriate place to work, I wouldn't mind staying for a while, to draw upon the special inspiration these lands give me. Of course, I would express gratitude to my patron from time to time with gifts befitting his status and mastery. Alright, I'll do what I can for you. Bakken making his monthly delivery of potions. Okay, now that we've given up on trying to complete that other quest in time, let's see how long it's going to take before I finish gathering the clues to get there. Ah. Ouch. Oh. Maybe I could swap Lindsay out for someone? Nope. Valerie it is, and she is not good at diplomat business. Okay, another 2 days and we'll have a hint. So we need to search west of the East Selin River Bend. Okay. Let's make sure there are no problems. Magister asks for an audience. Grand Diplomat wants to talk. A war of shadows. How do I know I have advisors? I just gained advisors. Alright. Maybe this is what real politics feels like. Constantly being underskilled and understaffed for the vast array of problems facing you. But probably with less people dying in your room constantly. Okay, it appears that not all of your neighbors know that lawful order has come to the Stolen Lands. Over many years, they've grown accustomed to these territories belonging to monsters and bandits and have learned to behave accordingly. I've heard rumor that hunters from Pitax cross the borders into the Barony, searching for game. They cross state borders as easily as wading across a stream. I don't want to sit idly and watch as the peasantry of a foreign kingdom mocks our laws. Please enforce control over the barony's borders. It will be an important move for anyone who doesn't yet take your rule seriously. Alright. We can do that. Community, +1, relations -3. I knew it would take a hit to relations. Stability +3. My respects, Your Grace. I hasten to hand you this paper that I received from your new subject. An appraiser of magical items has settled in the capital. We are nearly colleagues, and this news fills my heart with joy. Grateful for his new home, the appraiser asks Your Grace to choose choose as a gift one of the artifacts from his storerooms. Say for yourself. One of them attracts good weather and good luck. The second one allows you to dominate animals, and the third one to influence the emotions of sentient creatures. But I think weather and luck sounds good. Community, loyalty, divine, and arcane +1. Let's see if that was an actual item. No, it was not. Okay. This is probably like an espionage thing, and I still haven't found a way to even increase my espionage stat, really. Dang, you had a really good chance of completing that. Okay. We found a unique Dwarven engineering treatise that should help greatly in the restoration of Dwarven buildings. But... none of this has helped me progress the main story. Okay, gonna try one last time to get out to that spot where we're pretty sure the barbarian grave is. We've gotten like 3 clues. So hopefully that's enough for the game to care. No, and a new person. Greetings, Your Grace. Allow me to pay my respects and deliver a gift on behalf of my master, a well-known connoisseur of magical artifacts, kindly welcomed by you in the capital. This is a modest gift from my master, Your Grace. May it serve you well. And in case you're looking for more, I beg you forgive my audacity, but since destiny is giving me the opportunity to speak to you face to face, you see, my master is a highly educated and respected specialist, but unfortunately, he has no business acumen whatsoever. For my part, as much as I appreciate collectible items of great aesthetic value, I'm more interested in turning my knowledge in this sphere towards tangible profit. If you take an interest in obtaining magical items without all this hassle, I could arrange it. Tell me more. You see, over all my years of travel, I've built up a long list of contacts across Galarian. In other words, I can acquire magical rarities no matter the distance or difficulty. If you kindly help me open my own shop, I'll gladly quit my master and use my talents for your benefit. I'll see what I can do. Odd. Okay. How are you handling your new job? When I'm capable of resolving matters on my own, I don't trouble your grace. But when solving a certain question is impossible without the ruler's participation, then I hurry to you. I hope my visits don't bother you too much. Well, I kinda thought the killed tribal fetish would turn into an item.
Forwards.
But it's just another gold turn-in. I wonder how close my level is. As soon as I level up, I can force Octavia to learn Flesh to Stone as she levels up. But I feel like it's not very close. Yeah. Still roughly 30,000 EXP away. That's nothing to scoff at. I'd be pretty effed if my main dude had gotten petrified. I've had to head back and reload a save. Ah, here it is. Yeah, it just shows up on the map once you have enough clues. Convenient. Shut up, exclamation mark. We've done plenty of buried management.
May we have a moment of respite?
Ah, dang. We're going into this tired. And with a suboptimal crew.
We'll do it
Let
the
me
hard
stop.
way.
Just some spiders. At first glance. And she can't rage because she's tired.
A rest.
Clever ploy.
We shall overcome!
Serves you right. Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Yeah, resting would be nice. Let's go ahead and handle that.
Will I really never be as famous as you?
As famous as me? Probably not. But don't despair, you have your whole life ahead of you. Always remember, keep writing. And never for the desk drawer. Write everything for the purposes of being read and discussed. Praised, cursed, that part doesn't matter.
Good advice. As long as you just want to be famous. Let's see, dexterity damage, dexterity and constitution damage. Gonna have to prepare more restorations. I've been taking a lot of ability damage lately.
I wrote it like I saw it. Just letting the ink dry.
Does Lindsay have metamagic? Yeah, she has metamagic extend and heighten. Alright, then I need to spend a second and metamagic up some stuff. Mirror image doesn't need extend. She's only got 4th level spells, so there's no point in metaing these up.
Anything is possible.
Okay. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. I'm a bit nervous here. This party is not my most optimal party.
Forwards.
Some grim barbarians are sitting near the bonfire, speaking in low voices and casting sidelong glances towards the tomb entrance. Noticing you, one of them reaches for his weapon out of habit, but he catches himself and instead pats the space on the log next to him. Greetings, traveler. Come have a seat. Don't suppose you've heard of anything about the battle between the Tiger Lords and Restov, have you? Who won? How did it go? I don't know if I'll give them the full story, which is number 2. I'll give them the boring one, which is number 1. Wasn't really much of a battle. So that's what happened. Well, maybe it's for the best. We couldn't have conquered Rostov anyway. In this way, at least we didn't lose our fighters. What is this place? The tomb of peerless Armag, great chieftain and invincible fighter. Damn his hide. What are you doing here? Our chieftain brought us here. He took several of us into the tomb and told the rest to wait outside. No one's left the place since, and we've been sitting here for weeks. Is it possible your chieftain's dead? Maybe, but what if he isn't? The sisters always claimed that once he exited the tomb, he'd be the mightiest fighter Galarian ever saw. Maybe they were lying, but if they weren't, I'd certainly hate to be the one who disobeyed his orders. Going into the tomb. There's a sister standing guard at the entrance. She's a mighty witch and crazy as a bat. She won't just let you in. And even if she did, there are a lot of traps down there. If you make it past the traps, there's still Armag to deal with. He'll kill you. But hey, you're welcome to try. I'll try this diplomacy, but it's a little high. It's kind of scary. She is a witch after all. Whoa, got a ton of experience. Look at him, downright scared. No, you're right. It's long past time we rid ourselves of these witches and our crazy chieftain too. Yeah, everyone, get the sister! Down with Armag! Let's spend a second. Justin, asked you to cast Bless. There.
I believe I found
Basic
something.
buffing is probably sufficient.
Hope it not fight back.
Repent!
Best kind of fight.
So that's it. The witch is gone. There's no turning back now. Armag won't waste any time investigating. He'll just tear our heads off. To leave this with him. Are we supposed to wait here for him until we're ready? He's a traitor, not a chieftain. First he take us to conquer Rostov without any proper scouting, like sheep to the slaughter, and then he leaves his forces right before a huge battle to go digging around in some hole in the ground. Other chieftains have been deposed for far less. Right, enough is enough, I say. Whether he's alive or dead, we go back to Numeria. We'll tell the elders everything and they can choose a new chieftain. Good luck to you. Good luck to you too. Looks like I don't get to loot the sister if they do the killing. Tempted to just sit here and rest until the storm's over so I don't walk so slow while I'm looting.
Child's play.
Without a doubt.
Getting plenty of money from just collecting little trinkets. Okay, looks like that's everything though. Except for that. as I'm ready to head inside, the rain is less bad. What's his trickery? 23. That's held down by his encumbrance, which is at medium. Needs to drop 5.4 pounds. The only thing that really weighs anything of merit is this vest of 100 pockets. And that gives him +5. So,
Me see.
really,
Me
as a
see.
debt, he should keep it on.
Blood for Gorham!
Our path leads on.
We felt a cold breeze as soon as we entered the room. Ice shards appeared on the walls and floors of the labyrinth. Thick ice walls grew up around us. The walls were waist-high to a human, but they were head-high to me. The center of the room had a pressure plate on the floor, while the entrance to the labyrinth had a massive pedestal carrying a tiger statue made of ice. The exit was at the far end of the room, locked of course, and the inscription above it read, "Trial of Strength." The air in the room was cool, and the temperature dropped with each passing moment. It seemed like the magic was stealing all the warmth from the room bit by bit. Wasting no more time, it's a trial of strength. Looks like we could successfully pick the lock. It's not really in the spirit of it, though. Jubilee should be able to explore their labyrinth. Nope. Those ancient barbarians could really construct a labyrinth. We almost froze to death before we figured out all the forks, dead ends, and turnabouts. We did finally manage to find the right path, leaving signs along the ice walls to mark the way. All that was left was to drag the ice statue along the path. Alright, start pushing the statue. The ice tiger merrily ran through the labyrinth. Pushing it was much easier than expected, but the labyrinth itself was extremely tricky. Sometimes, to get 5 steps closer to the center, we had to make a loop longer than the whole room's perimeter. Well, whatever, we've got the path marked. Okay. It certainly wasn't easy dragging that ice tiger along the stone floor, but at least we didn't have to fight any real tigers. Our path took us through a wide loop in a long curving passage, which brought us closer to the center before taking us far away from it and back again, but we finally managed to push the statue into the center of the room, right onto the pressure plate. The pressure plate trembled beneath the statue's weight, and then a roaring pillar of flame erupted all the way to the ceiling. The ice tiger evaporated in a heartbeat, along with the entire labyrinth. The room warmed rapidly, even becoming a bit hot. The stone door opened and the path was clear. That was neat. And labyrinths are better as a story anyway.
Without a doubt.
Actually, walking through labyrinths is kind of a pain.
Something out there.
Ooh, shiny thing. Did it without breaking it.
Is Knock Knock really second best at trickery? Yeah, he's got plus 30. He's actually awesome at it.
Me see, me keep. I did it. I did. I did it. I did.
Alright, our EXP is actually coming along. Only 15,000 left to go. We'll probably have that level up as we get out of this dungeon. It's probably a big-sized dungeon.
Did it without breaking it.
Something tells me there are not good things right ahead of us.
I see something.
I did it. I did.
I'm positive I found something.
I did it. I did.
You see that?
Plenty of traps.
Did it without breaking it. Knock Knock nervous when watched.
We march ahead.
Yes?
I do hate failing to open things. So Cat's Grace doesn't do anything for him anymore. I thought I could get his dex higher than that with the mutagen.
And Lindsay was called forth.
So, any brilliant ideas?
There we go. Not that it was worth having for the most part. Tristan can't even use the sling. The most basic of
I wrote it
ranged
like I
weapons.
saw it.
Without a doubt.
Knock Knock more runner and talker than fighter.
They go down! Look at me, Gorum!
You forced my hand.
Not used to light enemies on fire first.
I'm listening.
You know, if Tristan were to learn a bunch of summon monster spells, that would make him more valuable. Every cleric should have heal.
What's that?
I did it? I did!
Go. Your protection +3.
I will guide us.
Next tomb is huge. It's good I got some spare rations.
Forwards.
Can we make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
We shall overcome.
I'm writing you out of our story.
I'm listening.
What's that?
Share your troubles.
Matritium Durinos.
I shall end this suffering.
Ha! Primitives.
Orama.
Not so bad.
Did it without breaking it.
Okay. 3 palm-sized pressure plates were installed by the heavy locked door. One was covered in ice crystals, one had tiny sparks running across it, and the last had smoke rising from it. The inscription above the plates read, "Trial by Pain." We chose one of our companions who decided to disarm the first plate's mechanism. Why should anyone have to endure any pain when we had a true trap specialist with us? After Knock Knock tinkered with the mechanism for a bit, The pressure plate sank into the depths of the niche on its own, ice crystals crunching along the way. We dealt with the first plate, only 2 more remained. Disarm the second plate. Wait, I did click disarm, right? Yeah. It's not letting me. Disarm the third plate. Putting one's hand into a furnace isn't the sort of entertainment I recommend to any adventurer. Fortunately, we were at Knock Knock, so there was no need. Once he had applied his skills, the plate receded into the niche on its own in a cloud of smoke. Alright, disarm the second plate. If anyone or anything ever offers to let you take part in an event called Trial by Pain, I'd say it's in your best interest to decline. Once Knock Knock had studied the plate closely, he applied his tools to the task and the plate sank into the niche, crackling with harmless jolts of electricity. There it was, the last plate. We'd passed the trial by pain. The stone door moved aside, opening the path to new trials and new pains. And we leveled up off it. Hills to the yeah. Get 2-handed weapon training, which is nice. Okay, it looks like I've already taken skill focus persuasion. Iron will would be sort of good. I'm sort of tempted to take persuasive as well. But no, I'll take staggering critical.
Together we stand.
Yeah, that'll mess people up pretty good. Alright, he now gets 7 dice of sneak attack. 8 actually, since he took accomplished sneak attacker. For him, extra channels. I'm not sure really what to take for Bard. Dodge is always solid. But no, I don't think her AC is great. She might benefit more from toughness. Got lots of solid choices here, but nothing amazing. Mindfog's a really good setup though. If I can Mindfog with her and then hit them with a will save from some other caster, that's pretty effective. Alright.
Something bothering you?
My cat's going a little crazy here. Keeps climbing on me. Okay. Oh no, did my game freeze as I saved it? Yep. I hope that didn't do anything bad to my save data. Alright, time to reopen it right away and see what happens. It's not opening. Well then. I don't even see it as like a background thing for why it's not opening. Okay, guess we're calling the episode here. This is my first heavy crash that I've recorded. So, alright, I had fun right up until the end there. I hope you guys did too. Have a good one.